Welcome back to Life in Biology. This is episode number 2, part 2. The camera stopped for some reason, but I got most of what I wanted to say out of the way. However, I do have a few tips for your laboratory notebook. And the first is you want a table of contents at the beginning of each lab book that you can quickly look through for all the different entries you have for that lab book. You should put dates everywhere on your samples. They should be on your lab book so that you can keep things coordinated. Each experiment should get an experiment number, and I think that this is a nice way to be able to refer from one experiment back to another, do some cross-referencing. If you have an experiment number, it's so much quicker than trying to write out the page or the entire title of the previous experiment or whatever, and the date and all that. Just use an experiment number. Where is it? Maybe you're using a new kit. Maybe you have a new TACMan assay. Maybe you collected a bunch of samples and they're stored in a freezer somewhere. Make a note of where did you put it. And the final thing of a lab notebook is to do it. I think that far too many people slack off on their lab book, and it becomes a problem when it's time to do what we need to do in science, and that is write papers and be able to convey our conclusions to the rest of the scientific world and the rest of the world in general. If your lab book is terrible, you're going to run into problems when it's time to write a grant or write a manuscript or put together a talk or a poster or whatever. So make sure that you keep on top of your lab book. I think that's about it for my lecture today. I hope you got something out of this, and if you're going into science or if you've been in science for a while, hopefully this answers some questions that you might have regarding lab books. Anyway, this is Life in Biology. I'm Dr. Joel Graff, and thanks for joining me.